Thank you very much for that fantastic summary of the Antegrade technique. I'm sure there's questions from the floor. Jerry?
In that last case, could you give us some advice when you've made a very long parallel channel about how hard you put stents in? Did you put an IVUS catheter down to look how thick the tooth? Did you put an IVUS catheter in to see how much?
No, probably if we advance IVUS catheter in those cases, IVUS itself create a major dissection. And
I'm referring to after you've made the re-entry point. You are very superficial under the adventitia of the vessel.
Yeah.
How often does dilatation of that channel lead to perforation?
Maybe after successful re-entry, same as the reverse or standard curve technique, subintimal space usually never perforated after stenting. So don't worry. Yeah. Of course, it depends on the size of stent or something.
Can I ask you a question? I was interested about the ultimate 3-wire. That's something that we haven't quite seen in this part of the world. We've heard about it. Can you tell us what you think its place is, compared to Miracle 3, and what your experience with it's been?
Yes. Now I'm already it's replaced Miracle 3 in our procedure. So we always use the Ultimate 3 other than Miracle 3 because very, very sleepy, and on the Ultimate 3 we can make a smaller chip curve compared to the Miracle 3. So it's very, very useful and very, very steerable, especially in a retrograde approach.
The question, when would you stop doing the antegrade and you think you've had enough and convert to retrograde, or would you ever do retrograde as the primary approach? What are the considerations of the decision making?
Maybe depends on the CTO morphology and availability of a good collateral channel. So if there's a good collateral channel, we quickly move to a retrograde approach. Maybe as you know, procedure success of a retrograde approach highly depends on the availability of a good collateral channel. So once channel is crossed in a retrograde manner, almost procedure success. So it highly depends on channel selection, good collateral channel.
David?
Can I ask about the techniques you talked about? You talked about sliding wires, you talked about drilling wires. Can you just tell me, is it as you describe? Are you drilling or talk about penetrating?
Of course, in a sliding procedure, of course, we can make some rotation, of course, but basically slide the wire. However, controlled drilling means we can try to find out the true lumen. So tactile feeling is very important. So you have to continue to try find out a tight plug with tactile feeling with the intermediate or more stiff wire to maintain true channel tracking. So sliding means a little bit automatically slide. So of course it's not always successful. Only a 30% of case it can be achieved.
In CTO cases, we often use multiple stents and long stents. Do you advise us to use dual-plated agents for beyond 12 months, like aspirin and clopidogrel, for forever or just for 12 months?
What do you mean?
like if you use multiple stents and long stents in CTO cases, do you advise using antiplatelet agents beyond 12 months?
Yes, beyond 12. Yes, of course, beyond 12 months. Yeah.
For long term?
Maybe all. Yeah, usually lifelong.
Right, Stuart?
Yeah, just to follow up from David's question, so what is the difference then between controlled penetration and drilling? You separate them out of the slide. How do you differentiate?
So you mean penetration is just a push, right, to penetrate, right?
Right.
And
You're not trying to manipulate it, you're just shoving it.
yes, so usually only a short distance, like just before distal cap, and or short, very short occlusion. Just maybe you can use just penetration. However, in a long occlusion, we have to explore the true channel, so that in those cases, still we need controlled drilling with a more steerable wire like a Miracle family, not Conquest family. Conquest family does not have a good controllability, torqueability. So I recommend Conquest family just use a penetration procedure in just before distal cap or IVAS guided penetration or parallel wiring.
Mark?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about your strategy using an anchor balloon.
Anchor balloon.
Would you recommend it at the outset of the case, or only if the wire is going down the side branch, or if the guide is unstable? In other words, is it if there's an opportunity to place one, is it a good idea to do it right at the beginning, because it actually helps, with the wire penetrate the lesion?
Of course, anchoring must be conducted in a proximal side branch, and so your question is.
I think Buck's asking that if you've got a bifurcation of branch sort of at the bifurcation,
After bifurcation?
do you place a wire into that branch initially and then try and penetrate the CTO, or do you just try and penetrate the CTO first up? You were saying, is it helpful to